What's up, everybody? It's your favorite OG HERO player coming at you with the deck profile that I have been promising you for how long. I've been mentioning that it's the deck profile I feel is going to help us hero players stay in contest with this current meta in the tier 0 format. It is a deck profile I've been working on for the past 2 months of going through to my local scenes, observing the players, how the decks are currently running, play testing, fine tuning, finding the sleeves that work best to accentuate the card's best features. No, I'm just kidding about that last one, don't worry, there's no such thing. Nah, but in all honesty, this deck, like I said, I've put a lot of work into it. It's one that I've ended up making myself from scratch. I've used no recipes from online game platforms, nothing from other YouTubers, nothing from overseas events. It is a deck that I've constructed and built up from the ground for myself, that I've made completely unique for me. So this is the deck that I've essentially put all my hard work into without relying on outside help. And it's a deck that, after all my playing and testing and scrubbing out for the past couple of months, you know, we know heroes, we're going to be rogue for a very long time. I don't think we'll ever be meta, but that's why I'm aiming to make heroes the top rogue deck. And I've constructed this deck in such a way that we don't care about its elements, we don't care about bestials, we don't care about flunderies, we don't care about what rogue deck you bring through. This deck is the card that says banish our shit, mill our shit, pop our shit, do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. We are going to play in our turn. We're going to play a little bit in your turn, and we will survive your first turn and go for game in the next. This is going to be the fruits of my labors for the past 2 months worth of work in building this deck from the ground up to make it, in my experience, the best heroes have been to date. And before I get into the deck profile, I just want to say it's probably going to be my last video for the year. So to anyone watching before the time, I just want to wish you all a very joyous and wonderful festive season. Have you a Merry Christmas, a fantastic Feliz Navidad, a Happy Yule, whichever you prefer to go with, and a Happy New Year. I'm personally sticking with the Happy Yule because we're Vikings at heart. We never stop fighting and we keep going, just like the heroes. So then, let's give you the hero deck profile that does not give two shits about tier 0 or meta or any rogue that you throw at us. We're going to give you a nice little deck profile presented by HERO-Nero. Let's get into it. Okay, so as we have promised, I've got the deck profile here for you that I've mentioned. It's, again, the one that I've built from scratch. I've done my own research into compiling this deck. Literally didn't use anything online. This is just my own personal build based on how I've observed the gameplay going here in Joburg and South Africa. So without wasting you guys' time, let's get straight into the deck profile for you. So we'll start off with the main deck. We are running 2 elemental heroes, Spirit of Neos. Is the hand trap for the heroes. It's nice to get our extended plays. It's nice to stop the opponent from taking your game. It's just, to me, it's a card that has made this deck so much more viable. But then, because we've got Spirit of Neos, we want to use his third effect still, and it's for crucial follow-up gameplays. We've got 2 of the OG elemental hero Neos. A lot of people said just run 1, that's enough, but with the way I've built this deck, 2 is optimal. Because it's easy enough to use the 1. If you aren't able to shuffle it back into the deck, then some of the other follow-ups is a little bit dead. So as we go through the deck profile, you'll see why I've decided 2 is perfect. And then to finish off with the Neos lineup, we've got the Honest Neos. This card is still amazing with this build. It's help clutch game as well. It's a good time to use Honest Neos now again. Then carrying on with the elementals, we are still running 2 Elemental Stratos. Just by the way, I do have 3. I just found that running 2 with this particular build, it is enough. 2 is absolutely perfect. I've constructed this deck and 8 out of 10 games I'm still opening Stratos just on 2. So 2 Stratos is enough. Then we're also going to run 2 Elements Hero Shadow Mist. It's self-standard. Everyone knows why you run Shadow Mist. It's our search, it's our instant target into Dark Law. And then we're also running the standard Element Zero Liquid Soldier. Great for the follow-up plays in the next turn when you use Miracle Fusion. It's also a nice viable target to shuffle back into the deck. Liquid Soldier is still good to go. And then to finish off the elemental lineup, we have Solid Soldier and Prisma. If opening these 2 cards and shuffle maybe, like guaranteed Cosmo Lock. But he's just so amazing for getting our extra special. If he leaves the field with our spell effect, we summon back any hero from our graveyard back in defense. And Prisma's an easy way to help us get the 3rd Neospace into grave for our fusion summon. Whether you want to play Prisma or not, it's up to you. For me, it's just an extra way to get that extra target. But then speaking of the Neospacians, we're just running 3. We're running the Aqua Dolphin, the Grand Mole, and Dark Panther. That's all we need. Aqua Dolphin, he's still good for the to check out your opponent's hand. Grand Mole still good for getting rid of a problematic card on the field, and Panther as well in a real bind to copy your opponent's monster's effect and use it against them. It actually did come up once where Panther was the go-to player that helped clutch game. And then I've decided to incorporate a little bit of a, let's just say, unorthodox combination, because I'm still using the Destiny heroes with 2 Malicious, 1 Deny and 1 Plasma. Keeping these guys in here, it really is just for making DPE a backup plan. With how I've constructed this deck, DPE is not your go-to play anymore. He's the backup if everything else fails. Because yeah, sure, DPE is not as effective in this format, but he still has his good moments, especially against the rogue decks. So it's nice to keep him as an option. And then here's the one where I know a lot of the hero community is going to disagree with me, but like I say, this is what's been working for me. I've got 1 Vision Hero Ferris, 2 Increase, and 2 Vion. Because 1 Ferris, 2 Increase, I know the hero community thinks that is absolutely ridiculous, a waste of time. Why am I saying such fucking mental things? Again, this is what I found works for me after doing so many tests. Because again, the DPE package is our backup now. And like I say, he's not our go-to play. That's why 1 Ferris is enough. So if we aren't able to do the combo we want, we can fall back to the typical normal Stratos, get Ferris, discard. This is why I've said this is unorthodox, but like I said, just hear me out. This is what's worked for me. And then to finish off with the heroes, we've got double Crosskeeper and double Ghost Bell. Because Crosskeeper, you all know, he's very nice to help get that extra special of the elemental heroes. So it's a free summon with an effect, and his follow-up effect can go for the banish, draw 2 and place 1 on the bottom of the deck. It helps us search through our deck if we aren't able to add what we want. And in the Ghost Bell, I feel this is the best hand trap with how the meta is at the moment. With the T elements, with Bestials, with quite a number of the rogue decks. Ghost Spell is the hand trap to run. This is all my opinion. Feel free to leave a comment if you think I am absolutely batshit crazy for saying such things. But this is what I found works for me and works for this deck. Then moving on to the spell cards, we've got 2, a hero lives. I know it's at 3, but again, 2 is proving to be more than enough for me. And especially with how most of the decks that's running around at the moment have changed their setup for trying to take game in time, just having 2 is enough. Because then we'll also be running 2 emergency call to help search out the hero we need to extend our combos, and also 2 mass change. I used to run 3, but with the inclusion of end shuffle, 2 mass change I feel is enough, because now we have extra ways to get through to our shadow mist to add the mass change. So we don't need to try and hard draw it as we always have. Now we can more consistently search it out with shadow mist. Then I'm also running 2 engage Neospace. Yeah, sure, it's got the downside to the turn you use it, you can't summon from the extra deck except fusion monsters, so it locks it out of the links. But it's okay, it's still a good card to help sift through the deck and get what we want. If we use this, we're typically gonna aim for Shining Neos Wingman in the opponent's turn. It's not your card to try and do Cosmo Neos, but it's still a good card to help set up a play in your opponent's turn to interrupt their field and allow you to get advantage again, or keep advantage. And then we're also running 2 end shuffles. Running at 2, perfect. 1 is not enough, 3 is too many. Literally running 2 is sublime, it's phenomenal, that's all you need, 2 is enough. Because chances are you're not gonna resolve 2 end shuffles in one duel. So you're just having the 1, it's absolutely perfect to help special out our Spirit Neos or any other elemental hero or Neospace that you need. It's absolutely perfect at 2 and essential for this deck. Because we'll also be running 2 instant contacts, which is again, self-explanatory. We'll be paying 1,000 to get into our Flame Wingman so we can help set up the Shining Neos Wingman. Depending on how your hand is looking, you can also go for Sunrise, but again, it all depends on what your hand is. 9 times out of 10, I'd recommend going for the Flame Wingman. Instant Contact did help me clutch a game on Saturday at the Tag Duel Tournament region at Stone Dragon, because you know I had Neos Engrave already, activate Instant Contact, summon Flame Wingman, he's there. My opponent's got a nice big beefy monster on field, he's about to attack over Wingman to take advantage. Unfortunately for him, I had Honest Neos in hand, so in damage calculation, activated Honest Neos, boosting up our Flame Wingman to a very respectable 4,600, which in turn meant we did 4,600 of battle damage to our opponent in their turn. And then to carry on with the spell cards, we have 2 Neos Fusions. This will also be to help get your 3rd Neospace into grave, or Crosskeeper if you want to go for the draw and send 1 back. Either which way, this is going to help you to set up your plays for the next turn. And to carry on with the fusion engine, we've got 2 polymerizations, and even though it is at 3 now, we're running 2 fusion Destinies. 2 is enough again, because like I said, DPE is our backup plan, it's not our go-to play anymore. So just running 2 fusion Destinies is perfect, because we've resolved the 1, and our materials are still in the grave, or they vanished and you're unable to shuffle anything back. That 2nd fusion Destiny is now your discard fodder from the Liquid Soldier, or the place to the bottom of the deck with Crosskeeper, just running 2 fusion is enough. And then to finish off with the spell cards, we got the 1 Miracle Fusion, our 1 Rotor to search out our Crosskeeper or the hero we need to extend full combo, and the obvious Called by the Grave. So self-explanatory on those. And then to finish up, I'm running 2 favorite contacts. I have resolved 2 favorite contacts in the game before. They ended up being a grind on Saturday, actually at the tag tournament as well. It's definitely not something to be slept on. Favorite contact is it's not even essential for this deck. It's you can't play the deck without favorite contact right now. Because with the elements milling everything, with bestials banishing all that stuff, this here is why I don't care about the meta. I don't care about elements, don't care about bestials, I don't care about Wonderies with Dimension Fissure and Macrocosmos. This is why I don't care. This is why this deck works so well. They can mill our stuff, they can banish our stuff. It doesn't matter. We're going to shuffle our shit back and pull up a nice big monster to take aim. But then to finish off with the main deck, we got 3 Infinite Impermanents. I usually have always said I'd rather run droplets instead of imperm, but I run imperm because I don't have droplets. But with this actual build I've got here, imperm is perfect. It is absolutely fucking perfect. Especially if you have to go first now. Well, so if you're going second because your opponent wants a die roll and they want to go first, imperm has helped shut them down and negate them. I impermed and ghost spelled an opponent on Friday in the same turn, and it was literally just okay, end turn. There's nothing they could do to follow up from there. Right now with this particular build, with this deck, Infinite Impermanence is the best choice over droplets. But then moving on to our extra deck, for the startup we've got our Absolute Zero. We can always summon him out using Miracle Fusion. If we don't get through to our Liquid Soldier, we use the Aqua Dolphin that's engraved. Because with Favorite Contact, it's going to get shuffled back anyways. So Absolute Zero is a really good choice now, because we have 2 water targets instead of just relying off of the 1 Liquid Soldier. Then we, like I said, we also got the Sunrise, our other option for instant contact to help us get into that Miracle Fusion, provided we've got Neos in field or engraved. And then we've also got our Flame Wingman, the Shining Neos Wingman. And like I said, our backup play, Mr. DPE. Running like this, it's what I found works best for me. The Flame Wingman for burning your opponents and getting a little bit extra damage when you attack. The Shining Neos Wingman to summon during their turn with Favorite Contact to pop. It's going to be a minimum of 2 cards that you pop on their field. Because you got your light, and whatever they summon, it's probably going to be a different attribute, or worst case scenario, you have another attribute on field. So it's at least 2 cards that you're going to destroy on their side of the field, and he's going to be sitting very nice and DP at a bare minimum of 4,000, because when you summon him, you are bound to have at least 3 heroes in grave. Well, not even 3 heroes, 3 monsters in the graveyard. Then running off of our Mask Change, we've got the Mask Hero Blast, just to help Stratos dodge any negates. We have 1 Dark Law, but he's still pretty good. He is still fucking amazing against Elements especially. With how this build's gone, 1 Dark Law is enough. And then for the biggest new addition to the deck would be the Mask Hero Diane, however you want to pronounce it. Because with Diane now, we have another main deck target now in Solid Soldier. So we can normal Solid Soldier, activate his effect to get a special summon. If our opponent tries to negate that, Mask Change, dodge, summon Diane. And when he destroys the opponent's monster by battle, we can special summon a hero from our deck. So we're going to summon out Shadow Mist, get another Mask Change, and 2 Master Heroes in one turn. That's going to be something that people who do not see the video would never expect. And then to finish off with the fusions, we have the one Elementary Hero Brave Neos. He is the main target of the Neos fusion by sending Neos in either Aqua Dolphin or Crosskeeper, depending on what your hand is, what your other plays are, what you want to do. And I've also incorporated the Aqua Neos, and because the whole reason behind Aqua Neos there is, to be honest, he very rarely gets summoned, but the main cause for him is Prisma. Because if we summon our Prisma, if we reveal the Aqua Neos, it's another way to get our Aqua Dolphin into grave to set up our plays for the favorite contact. So Aqua Dolphin has another way for us to pop up in grave. And then we've also got the Elementary Hero Nebula Neos, who's going to help us get our other 2 Neospacians into contest, and another Earth target for bringing out the Eye. Because if we've summoned it during our opponent's turn, we're going to refresh our hand by drawing cards. By the time you summon it, if you summon out Nebula Neos, they're going to have at least 2 or 3 monsters on their field. So that's 2 to 3 extra draws, bare minimum. And then if we have that Master Change in hand already and we haven't used it because we didn't need to, during our battle phase, attack with the Nebula Neos, get rid of their cards on the field, Master Change, summon out Dion, attack a monster, get another Master Change. Nebula Neos now has the usage of not just helping with the draws, he helps us get into an extra Master Hero. But then to finish off with the fusions, we have the nope to anything your opponent wants to do in Cosmo Neos. He's fucking insane. This whole weekend, anytime I brought him out, it was game. Because summoned him during the opponent's turn with favorite contact, they can't respond to his summon, they can't respond to the effect of his activation, and at the same time, again, it says no. Your opponent cannot activate anything for the turn. They can set a spell trap face down, they can put a monster in defense, that's it. It's literally a turn skip for us. This is what this particular deck build is running towards. This is your end goal, to get Cosmo Neos on your opponent's turn, shut them down. You essentially have 2 turns before they have 1, and it allows the OTK. And then to finish off our extra deck, we've got the Link Monsters, our Infernal Devicer, who is what's going to help us search out 2 of the 4 materials required for Cosmo Neos. So that is where you link him, reveal the Nebula Neos to your opponent, and add your Grey Mole and Dark Panther to hand. So that when you favorite contact, you just shuffle them from hand and the other 2 materials back to the bottom of the deck. And because we're running the small DPE backup, we're keeping Cross Crusader to help extend into our plays a little bit as well, to help us get extra monsters in hand that we might need. And to finish off for the extra deck, we have the one Dark, the Dark Charmer, Gloomy. I don't know why this guy's gloomy, he's fucking busted. Because versing almost anything, this guy can come up and he can be the make or break for your deck. You can summon him and take the game, or you can leave him and just fall behind. It's so satisfying, gratifying, delightful and delicious when you summon Dark and take your opponent's favorite big, strong, beefy Dark monster from grave and just put him on your field and use him to clutch a game for you. It's my personal choice to put Dark in here, especially with the Bestials. He's very nice to have there. That's, if there's anything that you want to change or you feel you want to add something, Dark is probably your main. You can replace that. It's just what I found works for me with my current setup of players. And then finally, to finish off with the side deck, this is based on, again, my observations, what I found works. what I feel is the best. We've got 2 of the artifact lanciers to help stop the bestials from banishing our cards, to shut down Fluunderies for the turn, because that is the cost of their effects. They have to banish. You lancier them in their turn, they're gonna have a summon end. There's gonna be nothing else that they can do from there. And then we've also got the 2 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, because especially with the rogue decks, there are still a lot of on-field effects that's gonna pop up. So having Ash in the side at the very least is a definite must. And I've also got the 3rd Ghost Spell, because sometimes we just need that 3rd one, especially against Telements and the Bestials. And then we've got double DD Crow, because having the DD Crow there, especially against Telements, that's what hurts him a lot as well. These 2 cards from the side deck is the bane of a Telements existence. No, you will not fusion summon. Using the effect of Shirin, for example, from grave to fusion summon, DD Crow, banish the Shirin, you will not fusion summon. And then we've also got our Harpy's Feather Duster, because there is still back row hate that we need to keep in mind. The format's not exactly solved of back row, but there's still a fair amount that we would have to worry about. Which is why we've also got a double Twin Twister, so you can say a Twin Twister. Yes, bad joke, I know. But yeah, we got our back row removal, and for any time, like especially with Fluunderies, they summon their Impens, they've got their Wind Barrier statue. There's our response to that, Raigeki. If they don't have their trap to negate or Mist Valley, they've gone through all that work just for us to Raigeki it and get rid of it, which allows us to OTK them. Again, that's how I built this deck. Even if they shifter us, we don't care. Mill our shit, banish our shit, we're still gonna shift on your life points. And then to finish off with the extra deck, we've got triple Rivalry of Warlords. It's still nice for us. Our deck is pure warrior now. It's still fucking amazing to have Rivalry. You're versing pretty much any deck, especially if they've got splashable engines like the Bestial. As soon as they have one Bestial on field, Rivalry, they locked into dragons now. Unless they're running a Dragon Maid or a Dragon based deck, that Bestial card that they just summoned is going to screw up their strategy, their game plan. That's going to set us up to take game in the next turn. And okay, when I say it's pure warriors now, that's with the exception of our Infernal Divisor, which is the Fiend and the Dark. But apart from those 2 cards, warriors throughout, so we good. No, this was comboed still a lot with the Dark Angel lock, but I've decided not to include that because, as I've mentioned, the DPE, which enables the Dark Angel lock, it's our backup plan. It's not our preferred go-to play in this deck. So that's why we are not running Dark Angel for the lock anymore. We're focusing on Cosmo Neos to just skip their turn entirely. But then that, my good people, is gonna call the end to this particular video now. And then, I've said it before and I'll still say it again now, this is the deck that I found works for me. It's the deck that I feel runs absolutely perfectly. It is the best counteract to the meta and the rogue, in my experience and my views. But that's going to do it for today then, people. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was worth the wait. And if you decide to use this particular deck build or sections of it, I hope it has as much success for you as it has been having for me. Until then, thanks for watching and hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a damn good New Year. Cheers, guys. And just remember, to Ragnarok!